what's going on, beautiful Jellyfish? This is Tracy, and today I'm going to be doing my first video in Dominaria, and I'm really excited. I didn't actually mention anything about filming these videos before, pretty much, because these take a lot of time and a lot of editing, and it may not seem like it, but it's the fact that it's like talking about multiple cards, and there's like 6 videos to film, and it's done in such a short period of time as well, because like we only know about spoilers like I think we found them out like Thursday or Friday, so like it's just a lot to try and film them the week before. And some people do them like when cards come out, but I don't like to do that because I feel like it kind of like clogs people's like YouTube subscriptions, and like I'd rather just do like more focused videos. So pretty much, if you have never seen me do set overviews, pretty much how I do them is I don't talk about every card, and basically I only talk about the highlights. I would say the cards that I really think are fantastic. It's not to say the other cards aren't good or anything like that. These are just cards that I think are extraordinarily notable. And I talk about this with a limited mindset. If you're drafting the set or if you're doing limited, I don't talk about standard, I don't talk about modern. I just straight up focusing on this with a limited mindset. So let's get into it. The first card is Lyra Dawnbringer, and oh my gosh, this card is freaking nuts. And something I feel like a lot of people do is they'll look at a card like this and be like, they'll only focus on that ability, like other angels you control get +1/+1 with lifelink. But even if you don't have other angels, guys, a 5-mana 5/5 flyer first strike lifelink is just broken. This is like, reminds me so much of Baneslayer Angel, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this card is just incredible and nuts, and all I just want to see is like Angel Tribal. That's like the only thing I care about. I think that's just going to be incredible. The art also on this card is just freaking beautiful. Yeah, like everything about this card, like you could have stopped at like 5-mana 5/5 flyer first striker and it would have been like sweet, but then they just like tacked on those other abilities, and I'm like, this is such a bomb. Pack one, pick oneable, literally no questions cards, amazing. Okay, then we have Urza's Ruinous Blast. So this card's pretty sweet. It's an exile card, which I think is really fantastic, and it's for 5 mana, you exile all non-land permanents that aren't legendary. There are quite a bit of legendaries in this set, so this is not going to hit everything by any means. It's not going to be a foolproof board wipe, I would say, by any means, but it is really incredible. Definitely a fantastic removal card, board wipe kind of situation card. Definitely something to look out for. Okay, then we have Benalish Marshal. Oh my god, this card's freaking amazing. It's triple white, so like I would just be a little wary if you're doing like 3 colors, but I think in like 2 color decks, I think this card's amazing. So it's 3 mana for a 3/3, straightforward, and other creatures you can got +1/+1. Like, oh my gosh, just, it's so simple, such a straightforward card, but this is just such a house. I think this card's gonna be absolutely busted and limited, and probably in standard too. Card's amazing. Okay, then we have Shala, Voice of Plenty. This card's amazing. Again, like the whole, it's 4 mana 3/4 flyer. You planeswalkers and other creatures you control have hexproof. Like, what? What? That's just dumb. That seems really good for like 4 mana. Okay, so like that's a thing, right? You have that. And then you've got like this 6 mana ability, which they were just like, this card's not that good. Let's staple another ability onto it because we totally need to. Where you put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So it's like Gavany Township on a freaking creature. What on earth? This is so broken. So the fact that, you know, you get all these hexproof things, and it's only 4 mana, and it's a 3/4 flyer, which is a great body, and then you have that really sweet ability. Like, this is such a fantastic mid-range card. I would definitely consider, like, splashing green. Honestly, I can't believe this card is, like, a rare. I think it should easily be a mythic. I'm not too sure why it's not a mythic. Absolutely busted. Card's incredible. Okay, and then we have Barid, Steward of Argive. Oh, man. Okay, this card's sweet. This is like, to my fellow like Death and Taxes players, this is totally a card for you. So it's a 4 mana 2/4 vigilance. Sweet, that's a really nice body. I like that a lot. Creatures can't attack you or a planeswalker you control unless they pay 1 for each of those creatures. Such a really sweet, like, slowing down the game type of situation. This is a really sweet creature to totally just jam on the board on turn 4 to really slow your opponent down ultimately and tax them for all their things, especially if you're playing in a matchup where they have like a ton of little dudes versus like bigger threats. So I think this card's really sweet. I think it's a very, very solid uncommon. Definitely something to look out for. Okay, then we have Deena Thug, Capashen, Paragon. Okay, like, as soon as I saw this card, I was like, okay, like, this is such a busted limited card and an amazing uncommon. Oh my god. 3 mana 2/2, first strike, vigilance, lifelink. Like, what? I live for cards like this. Cards that are just amazing value for the amount of mana you pay. I am all about that life. I think this card's amazing. It reminds me a lot of like Aerial Responder too. I just think they're like long lost cousins or something. Card is just amazing. It's also got the ability aura and equipment spells cost 1 less to cast. Like, I mean, okay, sure, just throw that on there. Like, why the hell not? Card's amazing. Great uncommon. Alright, we always have to have some sort of, like, pacifism effect in, like, every set, right? So there's Shalai in this set. Card's not as great as other ones because it does have to be tapped, but, like, I don't feel like that's a really hard thing to do. You just may have to take, like, a beating, unfortunately, from, a big threat before you can kind of deal with it. But, yeah, card's, like, super important. You just really need removal. Card's pretty good. Okay, Serra Angel. Good lord, this artwork, like, is divine. Oh my goodness. I need like 15 of this card to just like hang up in my office because it's freaking beautiful. Yeah, I mean, guys, like, everyone, I feel like, just loves this card in limited because it's just amazing. It's super simple. It's a 5 mana 4/4 flying vigilance, but it's just so good. It's got an amazing body, and just like the flying in this in white is just absolutely incredible, and I'm just super impressed by this card. Think it's amazing. Definitely something to draft. So good. Okay, then we have Aven Sentry. So yeah, okay guys, like, every time there are sweet flyers, I always get really excited, especially in blue-white color scheme, because that's my jam. So anytime you see cards like this is totally me. So this is a great draft card. It's a 4 mana 3/2 flyer. It is super basic. Cards like this don't look very exciting, but they're amazing and they will win you the game, pretty much. This is also a common. I just want to note that. This card's going to be flying around the table like crazy, which is amazing. Just don't ignore cards like this. You're going to see a ton of them, and they're amazing if they're in your color scheme. Love it. Cool. Okay, then we have Blessed Light. A couple things I think that are really important about this removal card is it is main board potential dealing with the Sega cards, or Sega cards? Sega, what? I don't even know where that came from. This Saga, it's like Sega Genesis over here. This Saga, the Saga cards, which is really important because sometimes I feel like typically artifact and enchantment removal is typically something you'll see on the sideboard because it'll just say destroy target artifact or destroy target enchantment or both or exile. But like, to have a card like this in the main board's sweet because it's 5 mana instant speed and you exile target creature or enchantment. Now if this just said enchantment, it would just be awful. Like, let's be real here. But it says creature, which you're probably going to be using it on most of the time because there's some bomb creatures in this set. However, with that being said, the enchantment aspect is really important to get rid of the Saga cards because you're going to be seeing them in there. A lot of people get really mad at cards like this because they're like, it's 5 mana, I don't want to pay for that. But like, guys, I feel like too, coming like especially when you play competitive formats and like your removal is so cheap, like going back to like it's so cheap mana wise, but then playing cards like this, you're like, this is so expensive, like I don't, but you have to draft removal. This is also at the common level, which is really important, so you're gonna see a ton of them floating around the table. Did I say uncommon? I meant common, if that's what I said. But yeah, cards really important. Definitely something to pick up. Okay, Call the Cavalry. I love cards like this. I love token generating things, and I just think this is sweet for the, like, you're getting 4 power for 4 mana. Like, that's a way I always kind of look at, like, tokens, and if you're not, like, okay, you're paying X mana for X value, Do the creatures have anything special like flying or haste or lifelink? Like what's going on? But this is just straight up, and you're getting vigilance tacked on with this, which is amazing. I think vigilance is really like one of the best limited mechanics. Like, and that and flying. If you have vigilance and flying, dudes, like vigilance and flying, like goodness, just that's my Serra Angel, so good. Definitely a really sweet support card. I really like it. Okay, I'm super sorry. I don't really know how I'm going to be able to pronounce this. Avenat's Trapper. This card's pretty sweet. It's not like my favorite, but I did want to throw it in here because I think it's really cool. It's a 3-mana 3/2. Whenever you cast a historic spells, now historic are artifacts, legendaries, and sagas, you get to just tap a creature. I don't think this is OP broken, you should be drafting 10, but like I do think this is a pretty sweet card if it's, you know, you're kind of looking for cards to just kind of like fill your pod and there's not a lot really going on in your packs if you're drafting. I do think this is a pretty decent common. I just think being able to tap down your creatures, especially in really aggressive decks that you're playing, is also cheap mana wise, so you can cast this on like turn 3 and be pretty happy about that whenever you're casting you know, artifacts and things like that, to tap down your opponent's creatures and then get some points of damage in, which I think is really great. So yeah, cool. Then we have Gideon's Reproach. Is this a reprint? Can you guys help me out? I'm pretty sure this is a reprint. It's super basic. It's 2 mana. It deals 4 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. It's a really solid removal spell. Love that it's instant speed. Love that it's 4 damage for what it does. You're just going to be seeing a ton of these floating around the table, and you should definitely check them out. Okay, the last card I'm super excited about, Unicorns and Pegi making a comeback. Like, can we please? I really want a Pegi tribal deck. That'd be pretty great. Just throwing it out there. Okay, I love cards like this. You guys know I'm obsessed with flying. I'm telling you, it's just one of the most busted, like, mechanics in Limited. Because if your opponent doesn't have it, you pretty much just kill them. And that's how it works, and it's sweet. So this card's great, and this reminds me of a lot of other cards. Like, there was something in Battle for Zendikar that did, like, the same thing. Like, you know, whenever this attacks, you know, another target creature gains flying until end of turn. And it's got flying in and of itself, so good. You know, that, like, really big threat that you have that you're like, this card is sweet, but, like, it'd be better if it has flying. You just give it flying with this card. What on earth? This card's amazing. Absolutely love it. Yeah, guys, that is it. That is it for talking about white cards. Definitely check out the video tomorrow, which will be whatever color is coming next. Blue cards? I don't know, whatever. Is it bad? I don't actually know the order of the magic colors. I totally should, but I don't. Whatever color is coming next, I will be filming that for you guys, and I will see you then. Bye.